Hi there, friends. I had a really awesome experience the other weekend. A friend of mine who I've known for a couple of years now has been inviting me out to her family property where she lives, and I believe the universe was telling me no every time because it's a long drive, first of all, but I just wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for the experience. And this time I was ready, and I was excited about it. And I even joked with somebody saying that I was going to be going to a women's retreat. It was an honest joke because I had no idea what I was doing or where I was going, other than I knew that I was going to be seeing a friend that I really wanted to see, and that there were going to be a couple other ladies that I knew of, but I had never really dove deep into getting to know. Let me tell you what, though, I was pleasantly surprised when I pulled up. I mean, even the drive, once I got closer to where she lived, it was scenic, and it was 20 mph driving through these canopy of trees across the road, and I'm just like, wow, am I going to Narnia, or am I going somewhere to get, I don't know the words, but I got there, and as I learned more and more about the area and family and all of that type of very interesting information, I was still completely unaware of the totally necessary beauty of where we were, just the nature aspect, and I felt like we had synced up in so many ways, and it's exactly what I needed. I could not have asked for a better extended weekend with one of the kindest, sweetest women that I've ever met. And it's like when I met her, it was as if we've known each other forever, because we have. That's what I believe. And the other ladies were beautiful and quirky and spiritually bonded in a different way, but a beautiful way. I have no issues with any of them. They're all exactly who they are, and we all did kind of test each other once in a while, because we are used to living our own lives with minimal interactions at times, and for us to come together as strong women, as opinionated women, as spiritual women, there's a little bit of struggle. And when that would occur, instead of joining in on possible drama or chaos, I asked questions and tried to realize the reason why somebody may have been uncomfortable, or sometimes it was we were hungry, or we were feeling uncomfortable because we had not had talked about such a topic before in our lives, or a million different reasons. But all of them were justified, and all of them were discussed. I feel like I was able to say, well, how are you feeling, and why do you feel this way, and how can I help you? And if I haven't, that's my intention, to always be that way. Just say, are you okay? When someone's snarky, or lashing out about something, which very little of that happened, but my intention in my life is to have as much fun as possible and have as much peace as possible, knowing that there's going to always be chaos going on somewhere, within somebody, within myself, within a situation, and knowing that I am better suited and better capable of working through that type of chaos with myself or with others. And sometimes I have to just walk away. It's not worth it, you know? It's not worth it at all. I could talk about that weekend forever, and I mean, it was just so many experiences that I have never experienced, and then ones that I had that weren't good the first time or second time I ever did it as a child, and it just gave me a completely renewed feeling of, hey, you like being in nature, you like being outside, you like being in the water, you love being in the water, you love being able to hear nature while you're sleeping in a tent, you don't mind sleeping in a tent. And I can tell you right now, there's a very big difference between camping and the humid heat of Southeast Texas versus the Midwest. That's not as humid and there was no heat. I mean, I absolutely get why people love to hike and camp and do all the outdoor things in the spring, summer, and even fall up here, because it's not hot, or it's not that hot, and you know, it's tolerable. And just being in nature and being around lovely women, and just, it was carefree. I didn't feel like I had to be anybody else but myself. I didn't feel like I had to guard myself. I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. And the moments when I may have doubted a situation, I pushed through and I was like, nope, girl, you're gonna do this. There is absolutely no reason why you drove all this way to spend time with people that you love, and you're going to miss out on ABC or whatever. You're going to push through. You're going to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I did, and I don't regret it for 1 minute. But, of course, there's always two sides to the coin, and it's how you look at things. It's all about perspective. But I did come home, and I was just exhausted. My entire body was just tired, but I didn't feel any soreness, which I'm very surprised about, because I was very active for myself. And I was out in the sun, and I was concerned I was going to get a sunburn, and I didn't. I just feel very fortunate about that, because usually I get a sunburn, and I applied and reapplied sunscreen, but I also put clay. We went down to the creek that's on the property, and it has a lot of natural clay deposits, and the two women that live there, my friend and another new friend of mine too now that's in the family, they started putting clay, like, I don't know how to compare it, like the slip type of clay that pottery users use to, like, put a handle on their pot. It's like more wet and slippery, and they were putting that on their arms and their legs and their face and their body, anywhere they were exposed to the sun and their skin was exposed. and they looked like these gray women, and they looked beautiful, and I was the palest person in the group, and I was concerned about getting some sort of sunburn. And so I was like, this is fun. How fun is this? Like, I don't think I've ever done something like this. And so I did. I put clay on myself, and they helped me put it on my back, and it was fun. It was like playing in the mud, kind of, except we were standing in this creek and looking at pretty pebbles and just having a good time and talking to each other and being carefree. And I didn't get as much clay on me as they did, but I did a pretty good job, and I didn't get sunburned. And we had that clay on us, and it wasn't thick. It was just like a light. When it dried, it was like a light dusting on our bodies. It wasn't thick like mud. But yeah, we wore that for however long until we eventually rinsed off, like in the pond or whatever. But it was just really a good bonding experience. There were many of them, and I look forward to seeing them in a couple months. I was invited back, and absolutely I will go. It's a drive, but it's not a drive I haven't taken before. Timing wise, I've never been there before until last weekend, but I have driven to New Orleans, which was like 5 hours from where I lived. This is less than 5 hours, but it's close, and it's fine, because this part of my life is about going on adventures and pushing myself. And so the other side of the coin is that I need to get my car looked at. It's an older vehicle, but it's done very well for me, and I had it checked out and gotten like the oil change and stuff right before my trip, and I let the guy know what I was doing and where I was kind of going distance wise, and he said, your car is safe, your car's fine, but I need to get the alignment checked when you get back from your trip. So that's my one thing. And I've already talked about in the past how I know eventually I'm going to need to get another vehicle, which is just another expense, because this one's paid off. But I feel like I would be a lot more safe doing that, and so that's a future thing that I'm going to have to do sooner or later. So I got back, and my body and my mind and everything were so blissed out, but they were also like tired, and I slept a good amount of time, and I feel rested, and I feel great. And I get a message from someone that I'm very close with that they need to make some changes in their life, and that includes not seeing me at the capacity that they were seeing me before. And it made me very happy to know that they were going to be pursuing dating, and that they were going to be doing what they should be doing at the age that they're at, where it's like, dating and getting to know people. But at the same time, it felt like a breakup, because I had developed, a fondness for him, and I knew that the friendship that we had was not going to change necessarily, other than I was no longer going to be seeing him as much. But I was like so happy for him that he's socializing more, and he's doing things, and he's being, exactly who he needs to be, hopefully. And that even if I no longer will get to see him as often or at all, I wish him well. All the while, I'm sad, because he was somebody in my life that um, I cared about, and I will always care about. And so yeah, I came home, on this high, on this natural high, to be told that my relationship dynamics were changing. And it wasn't just him, I knew deep down in the past, month, that there were going to be some big changes in my life. And instead of worrying about them like I normally would in my past, I just stayed present as much as possible and thought, okay, universe, give it to me how it's supposed to be. And I had noticed signs about dynamics changing, and it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel incomplete a little bit when people in your life come out of it, or people on your journey decide that they want to, go down their own road, and they might be parallel to yours. You might see them from afar, and that's perfectly okay. That is perfectly okay. And I've met some glorious people. It's okay if I have to lose some also. And it's not even like completely losing. It's just a different capacity. It is okay. And it's also okay to feel sad and glad and excited, and just let all those emotions flow through. And that's okay. It's all okay. And all the while, I have been thinking about opening myself back up to the possibility of dating, which is, I don't know, friends. I don't know. I'm sure you've probably dated to some capacity in your life, or at least gone out with somebody and hung out, and it can be so stressful. It could also be exciting, but it's definitely a experience of learning how to be your authentic self, which is difficult for a lot of people, myself included. But I am my authentic self, and having the ability to filter and maintain boundaries and get to know somebody and not have it be surface level. That's how I feel, at least. But yeah, I had kind of given myself that permission in the beginning of the year, and I was just doing my own thing and taking my time, and making friendships and dynamics that were conducive to the life that I wanted. And yeah, I have no regrets about anything. All the experiences, good, bad, and ugly, that I'm supposed to have, I have for a reason. And they're part of my life lessons. They're part of my journey. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at the idea of you can have the good and the bad at the exact same time. And I don't even want to call what I came home to as bad. It's not, even though I feel sad about it. I want to call it just another opportunity where I'm very fortunate to have met people, and I am very fortunate to see that they're making some changes in their life for the better, and that doesn't always have to include me as much. Like, you want people to be happy, and you want people to do good, and if that means they have to step away from the friendship as much, so be it. Like, I know that my influence in the friendship was nothing but positive and exciting and fun, because that's the type of friend that I want to be with people. That's the type of person I want to be with myself. That's the person I am. And life is not always going to be butterflies and roses and rainbows, but I sure do enjoy a really great thunderstorm. And of course, the beauty of just the idea of having, dark, cloudy days, enjoying those and embracing those. I hope that everyone has been having a lovely time, enjoying their weekends, enjoying their lives. And with that, I'll give you guys a talk later. Bye. Hey there. Thank you for listening to my podcast. This is more than just me rambling away and telling you stories. This is about, healing. And as I talk through things and tell you guys crazy things about my life, past, present, and possibly future, it allows you to realize, hopefully, that you're also not alone if you do feel that way. And that even if you can't sleep at night or you have a lot on your mind, you're able to, log on and listen to a podcast or make fun of the way my voice sounds or whatever you want to do. It does not matter. I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. Thanks.